Hey there. Have you ever looked at a building and just felt a certain elegance, a kind of graceful strength? Well, that's not an accident. Architecture isn't just about putting up walls. It's a language, and it's designed to make you feel something. Today, we're going to learn how to speak one of its most beautiful dialects. So let's just start with that big question. What is it exactly that gives a building that feeling of grace? What are the ingredients? Well, for the next few minutes, we're going to go on a quest to find the answer by taking apart one of the classical orders of architecture, the Ionic order. Okay, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on the Ionic style, we need to look at the perfect example, the archetype, really. And for that, we're heading to ancient Greece, to the Temple of Athena Nike. Yeah, this temple right here. It's a masterpiece by the architect Callicrates, and it's considered one of the purest expressions of the Ionic order you can find. It's basically our perfect case study. So let's keep this image in our minds as we start to break it all down. But first, before we get into the nuts and bolts, just take a second to appreciate how old this is. The Ionic order isn't new. It first showed up way back in the mid-6th century BC. That means this style we're looking at has been shaping our ideas of beauty for over 2,500 years. Pretty wild, right? All right, let's get to the heart of it all. We're going to play architectural surgeon for a minute and dissect the single most important part of the Ionic order, the column. Trust me, this is where all the magic happens. And we're going to do this in 3 simple steps, building our way up from the ground, just like the original architects did. We'll start at the base, move up through the shaft, and finish at the very top with its crowning feature, the capital. You ready? Step 1. It all has to start somewhere, right? The Ionic column doesn't just shoot straight out of the floor. No, it gets its own special pedestal. And you can see that foundation right here. The Ionic base usually sits on these stacked discs, which creates this beautiful, layered look. This particular style, this is called the Attic base. What it does, really, is it gives the whole column this sense of lightness, like it's being elegantly lifted right off the ground. So from that elegant base, your eye just naturally wants to travel upward along the main body of the column. And this is the shaft. Now, what makes the Ionic shaft so special are its proportions. It's just noticeably taller and skinnier than columns from the other orders, and that creates this really powerful feeling of reaching up. And see those vertical grooves? That's called fluting, and it makes it look even taller and more graceful. Though, sometimes you'll find them totally plain. And now we get to the top. The grand finale of the column. This is it, the single most famous, most recognizable feature of the entire Ionic order. Okay, time for a new vocab word, the volute. A volute is this amazing spiral scroll-shaped ornament you see right here at the top. This one little detail is what absolutely screams Ionic to anyone who knows what they're looking for. Think of it like this. The volute is the Ionic order's fingerprint. It's totally unique and undeniable signature. If you see those scrolls, you know exactly what style you're looking at. This one detail, it defines the whole shebang. So, you've got the base, the slender shaft, and those incredible volutes. But when you put them all together, they create something more than just a stone pillar. They give the Ionic order a real personality, a character that people have connected with for centuries. And hey, that's not just me talking. The ancient Roman historian Vitruvius actually personified the different orders. He looked at the Ionic with all its slender and delicate features, and he compared it directly to a female form. And that idea? It has stuck around ever since. To make it super clear, just look at it compared to the Doric order. Where the Ionic is delicate, the Doric is stockier, more muscular. Where the Ionic is seen as feminine, the Doric was considered its male counterpart. Seeing them side by side like this, it really makes that unique, graceful personality of the Ionic pop, doesn't it? So, we've taken the Ionic order apart, from its base all the way up to that famous scroll. But what's the big takeaway? Well, the next time you walk past a courthouse, a library, or some old university building and see these columns, you won't just see stone anymore. You'll see a story, one that stretches back thousands of years. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. How does knowing the story behind a single column change the way we see the world all around us?